The Kool-Aid man, that one. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Yes, it is. If there's one thing I love a brand new scent. And Dove has it in cherry and chia milk. Today, we shall discuss Dove's new body wash in the scent cherry and chia milk. By first whiff, it smells like cherry Kool-Aid mix. The Kool-Aid man, that one. I'm not sure if it was cherry that he was wearing. That's besides the point. Let's get into the first impressions. So I'm going to get into the smell. So I did make the comment that it smells like Kool-Aid packets. You ever smell those Kool-Aid packets? Kool-Aid was a thing back in the day. And the two closest smelling flavors would be cherry and fruit punch that I can remember. I can't tell you the last time I've had Kool-Aid. And down here in the South, they make it a little bit too sweet. And no, that's what it smells like. Sent straight out of the bottle. Smells like cherry Kool-Aid. It's on point. Now the chia milk, maybe that's what's responsible for the bit of softness I smell that comes right after I smell the cherry, and then it settles down, and then I smell a bit of creaminess to the cherry, because cherry in itself, anything cherry flavored tends to be really tart and kind of tangy. At least for me, that's what I'm noticing. The purest form of it smells very tangy. That's what I'm picking up here. Slimmer bottle, 20 ounces. I kind of miss the previous shape of the bottles. What y'all think about it? I'm going to put this comment here just because of one of our brave family members here on the channel mentioned a while back that they changed the formula, and we're about to get into it and find out what's going on with that. Plant-based moisturizers, no sulfates, no parabens. I like that. I see a pattern here with most of the brands, bigger brands and stuff like that. Smaller brands too, with no sulfates, no parabens. Cherry chia milk revitalizes your skin and senses. Then it says here, with millions of micro moisture droplets leave skin as soft as silk. But we got to get into it. I hear you changed the formula. Anytime there's a rebrand, there's likely a reformulation. If the formula change is or it's a winner. So let's get our hands into this texture and consistency and overall feel. Gotten into the smell. Smells like Kool-Aid packets, cherry. Smells a little bit like the fruit punch one too. There's a bit of creaminess that comes along with smelling it that I'm picking up. Keep in mind, each person's sensitive smell is completely different as to what they're going to pick up. So let's get into it. Maybe that's a little bit too much. Yes, it is. Un momento, por favor. That's not how much I normally. That's a couple guaps. Nah, wait a minute. Nah, that's a little bit too much. Let's try this again. That's enough. This is a relatively smooth, kind of runny, so it's running for its life. Just a little bit of this formula. There are two different types of textures that I've found so far out of the Dove lineup of what I've tried. There are the opaque, white, thick, creamy, luscious that acts as a lotion type of body washes. Then there's a type that's see-through, a little bit runnier, not as thick and creamy. Transparent coloring, not opaque. It's a tinted pink. I would have thought with cherry they would do something like red colored body wash. This is actually the best option. I have tried a red shaded body wash by Caress, and my concerns were solely of is it gonna stain my shower floor? Because y'all might have the concerns. So it's not red. It's relatively runny. It's just thick enough. I want you to see that lathering there. And this is with a couple motions of the hand doing that. So it doesn't look like you're going to have much lather, but this is just before we get in the shower with it. I will say this, working your hands through it, and this is sans water, so I've not introduced water into the equation yet. Did kind of tone down the scent of the cherry. And I have no idea what chia milk smells like, but I'm thinking anything milk, saying it has milk in it, like coconut milk, chia milk, macadamia milk, that would be responsible for the creamier smell of things. So the sharpness of the cherry is gone. And mind you, water's not been introduced yet. But now I just smell a creamier, more toned down version of things. So this is the time we're going to get into the shower. We've already talked about how it feels in the hands, what the scent is like, even down to what the scent is like when we've started working this through our hands. Overall consistency, texture, very smooth, kind of runny. Feels a bit different than the Dove body washes that aren't thick, luscious, and creamy and opaque. Isn't the white creamy soap. Lavender I know to be like that. So rubbing this to my hands. Mind you, I've not introduced water yet, but we're in the shower. And for those who are not familiar with me, swimwear. We wear swimwear in here. Head, shoulders, and arms is the only thing you'll see. As I'm working through my skin here, now through my hands, that effectiveness, that strength, that concentration of the fragrance of that cherry was disappearing when I was only working it through my hands only. Mind you, I've started here, working it through my skin. We're about to use it for real this time. I notice the scent is softening, and I think that is the reason why they included chia milk. I like that it softens. I like that it opens straight out of the bottle with a smell of that nice tart but acidic cherry. But then I also like when you start working it through your skin and taram. That chia milk, that comes out. I have noticed that more often than not with tree huts, some of tree huts, not everyone. It's a two-dimensional product. So this first time in a while I've noticed this with Dove, and I'm not sure if that's been the case before now. Barely can smell the cherry. Barely picking up the milky scent. The milk. I smell the milky smell as I'm introducing water. It smelled a bit sour at first, and maybe that is the leftover residue, leftover concentration of the cherry. Also wanted to mention that when you use this directly, how I'm using it, you don't introduce water first. It directly goes onto your dry skin. It does get into nooks and crannies and cracks and crevices, even though it is a runny texture. And if you want to know how to best shower with a runny product, body wash in particular, I got a video here that I'll put at the end of this one. The lather is quite moderate. Now we're gonna try a couple times. It's more lotion-like when you lather it now. Rinsing is pretty easy if you're applying on damp skin. But if you're applying on dry skin, you are going to need to do some work. You got to do some work to rinse this off completely. Completely. If you're applying on dry skin. I'm really hoping that the scent lasts. And so we will see what it does in 1 hour to see what this does and see what the hype is about. Different look, but an hour later for this Dove Cherry and Chia Milk Body Wash. I feel like the smell of this body wash graduated itself into a middle ground, a gray area of smelling like cherry, just not as sharp, just not as tart, with that lingering softness of chia milk. It was to a point where it's kind of smelled sour. I didn't like it. I didn't like that. Now my body chemistry, keep in mind, body chemistry plays a big part in how something will smell on you versus someone else. It may smell straight out the bottle on someone else's body chemistry combined with it. And then myself, like, still smells like the bottle, it just smells like a watered down version of what's in the bottle. And I don't like it. As far as lasting power, lasted pretty well. I didn't layer with anything else. So this is just solely the only thing that's been on my skin. No lotions, no creams, no oils after stepping out the shower. And no problem. I still smell it lingering. It's nice. I wonder if layering will help it. It should. And we'll see. That's the only part I didn't like, that gray area, that middle ground of the cherry smelling, not as tart and not as acidic and sharp as it did straight out the bottle. And then the chia milk, I still smell that creaminess. It's just that the cherry was the prominent note hitting my nose and smelled a bit sour, and it just carried on like that for nearly the full hour. Other than that, it's a great smell. Those are my honest thoughts. I was going to say, here are my honest thoughts, but those are what they are. I just told you. I give this a solid 9.5, and the 0.5 is because of that middle ground. I wish that the cherry would have softened just a little bit, but I think my body chemistry had a factor to do with that. But then again, you never know. I might let this sit and macerate, sit and settle, and let the ingredients settle, because I've been moving this bottle around a little bit. We're going to give that a try with this. But I believe I've shared all my thoughts for Dove's latest edition, Dove's Body Wash, in the scent Cherry and Chia Milk. If you'd like to see more reviews of body washes, or maybe you're looking for something new and you're wondering what it's like prior to you hitting that purchase or that buy now button, it's going to be a playlist on either side for you to enjoy. And that might just help your purchase decision. Gotta go put this on the shelf now and experiment. Love you. When I think about love, it's one of the bravest things that you can do. It is patient. It is kind. It does not envy or boast. And it'll keep you on the coast of not being rude or self-seeking. Nor is it easily angered or seething mad. And it keeps no records of wrongs. It has no pleasure in evil, but it rejoices in the truth. And most of all,